There's good news tonight. Welcome to June 27th, 2024. A quick mod report on which mods have been updated, and then I want to show you one that's not just been updated, but expanded. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Okay, enough of the special effects. Oh, and because Victoria 3 now has leaders with, pipes and things like that, I'm going to go ahead and use mine. Now, I don't use tobacco. I just like having a pipe because it keeps me from chewing pens. And if you're wondering, well, doesn't that taste like just plastic? Well, no, because I have like these little wax melts with flavors in them. And, most people like or not burn them, but melt them to make the air change color. Well, they're food grade additives. So I can just enjoy the flavor as I inhale somewhat from it. So let's all grab a fake pipe and celebrate Victoria 3's embrace of smoking paraphernalia. But say no to tobacco, because remember, tobacco kills weaklings. Okay, now, that's from a comedian. Anyway, what works? Well, Terrain Exterminator. I used to have Paper Map all the way, and even though that does work in 1.7, Terrain Exterminator does an even better job because it gets rid of all the little city things that were, if you zoom right into the lowest level, this does the job that Paper Map all the way fails to do. So here for Terrain Exterminator. Scrolling down, there's a number of these mods where I posted a note earlier today and asked, hey, does this need to be updated for 1.7? And the modder either said, nope, it works fine, or hang on, got it. And that was good to hear. It's nice to know that the modders are still there, keeping, tending their flocks, as it were, and that these are not abandoned mods. One that I was worried about was Monroe Doctrine, which is also written by the same author that wrote Improve Low Taxes, Indie Improvement, Scaling, Decrease Costs, and Liberate Country as Subject. And you'll see now that both Monroe Doctrine and Liberate Country as Subject are enabled in my mod set because that mod author, Kate the Sybil, has got them fixed up and working for 1.7. I am so thankful for that. This is good stuff to have here. And yeah, a lot of these, if some of these, if they were grayed out yesterday, well, they're green today. More and more modders are getting their stuff together and just checking to see, hey, you know what? It's working fine. They've got the time. They make a quick check, and that's a wonderful thing to see. Another one that is wonderful to see is that the industry realism and the PEC mod are working well. Some people reported an instance where they loaded up and there are these large blank areas of map, not areas where there's no buildings, but like you can't click on them. There's nothing there. It's white. Just bleh. So some had that clear up after they reloaded the game. It's just like, what? And others when they unloaded the mod and reloaded the mod. So it could be where there's some glitch in the code and you either fix it by reloading and it re-downloads, or you unload it and it wipes it out and then you load it again and it copies it over new. So there you go. But yeah, you can fix it that way. What else do we have here? Yes, at the bottom, I've got the 171 unofficial hotfix mod. It was 170 yesterday. It's 171 today because, the 171 patch released. So you look at his changelog, he's crossed off all the things that are in the 170 or 171 patch. But the ones that aren't in there, or a few that he's found, Ferris has put into this one. So well done, Ferris. We're watching you. You're a great modder. We love you. Have a great day. Now, the one I want to get to here is from Sasko, and I was able to be on a Discord conversation with Sasko earlier today where he went over the big changes he's got in the Great Revision. Let's take a look at what the mod does, though, and we'll go from there. All right. I got the page loaded up here. Great Revision, yada, yada, yada. Let's go to the first page. That's what it looks like. You can tell it's updated for 1.7 because that's a 1.7 picture there. Gotcha. All right, and he says new feature, taxation reform, and I'll demo that new feature after we run through this. Okay, so we have our tax reform and tax department. It puts in loans and interest rates, fixes those up. It will fix your recruiting generals based on interest groups in government. I like that. I think it does limit it to 2. So if you like having three, we need to talk to the mod author about some things. But still, it's worth it. We also have consumer goods economy and war economy. So we have settings where the AI will change what it does based on what it's in there. These are AI scripts, so it'll actually make its stuff for consumer or war economies and not get them too mixed up there. How it builds the buildings. We do a trade rework and fix up some stuff on trade centers. It works on companies and private investment. I just have to say, it's good that I'm able to be in communication with the mod author because we're able to bring up stuff like, hey, I notice it does this. I notice it does that. And he takes a look at the code and says, okay, try it now. And it's great to have that. So if you're interested in working with mod authors and just offering the odd suggestion or two, come by my Discord channel. And, well, we have a great vibe there, and we'll be very happy to see you. Yeah, so anyway, he now gets some stuff in here. And the key here, though, is taxation reform. We've got some tax buildings here. This is for only the player. The AI it has a hard enough time. It'll handle its own taxes, but it gives you, the player, some truly flexible options that I think are out of this world. Let's load a game up and we'll demonstrate. All right, I've started a game as France, and yes, just to zoom all the way in. Look, there's no white expanse. There's no little bits of city. It's clean. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay, but now back to business here. First of all, you're going to notice that there's some things odd going on, like this minus 1100 here with groceries. Well, we can fix that with import routes. And in fact, it's for some other nations, if you just let it run for the first few months, by like June of 1836, the shortage is taken care of. But I happen to know that France is going to have this issue if I don't import things. So I'll import things. And yeah, I can go to development and change their filing system. Okay, and go to secular administration, whatever. We'll deal with all that. Okay. So yeah, we do our normal, set things up at the beginning of the game, add the extra leader to Scaldre de Mediterranean. Yeah, see, now we have only two to pick from, but they are in government right now. None of the riffraff from outside of government. I'll drop in a guy from the armed forces because they tend to sit on the fence when there's a revolution, and that's a nice thing to have. They don't join the rebels. Okay, I can do some other things here, but I'm not going to do them because I want to show first the Monroe Doctrine. Day one, let's go to Mexico and make it a protectorate. What do you say? I hit confirm, hit unpause, let's go to speed 5. Whoa! I couldn't even go to speed 5, and the USA has sided with Mexico in the play against France. If I go over here, I now see there's a humiliate war goal. This is terrible. I don't really want to fight the USA. I was just kidding. Well, good news. I have this little event over here that was missing before, but now it's been updated. And I can either say, yeah, I don't care. I'll fight the whole army. Or let's back down, and instead of taking a diplomatic hit, we'll just take a hit of, 12 months of truce. And that's the Monroe Doctrine. This is a good thing. It was really needed before 1.7 because otherwise Europe would just get grabby. But now it helps us one further backstop, and it helps also America define this area as where it's going to expand, where it has interests. Interests. All right. But I came here to show you about taxes because I am an economist. Let's unpause. All right, yeah. Montenegro, Kenya, so what? Pretenders to the throne, down with the monarchy. Here we are. It's around the 25th, 27th of the month. You get the Taxation Department Act shows up suddenly. You get it because you're the player. Now, you've seen that we've had minus 177K here. That's a terrible way to run a country. Let's add some consumption taxes. We'll tax services. We'll tax transportation. We'll tax entertainment. We'll tax luxury furniture, media, and honestly, even if we remove the opposite or the oppression on the intelligentsia, that extra 200 decree power is not going to get us enough to meet that number there. We got to get to 146K. Oh man. So, of course, the normal response is I'll just raise taxes. And you reach for the highest one and you go, yeah, I'll need 22.8K more. What? And then you look below it and you see effect is 50% more consumption tax rate, minus 20 legitimacy, 100% radicals from standard of living decreases, minus 60% attraction of interest groups in government. And you're going, whoa, that wasn't there in vanilla. And you're right, it wasn't. Because if you leave it right here, it's just like whatever your taxes are, leave them there. And if we go lower, we could add 5 legitimacy, we could add 10 legitimacy, and we just reduce our consumption taxes. And again, it's not by that much, only 22.8K lower. You're losing money anyway, kids. But that's not where the real money makers are. No. We're going to go somewhere else. Well, I know what some of you may be saying. Historically, they gained from tariffs and all that. Well, consumption taxes aren't tariffs. If you want to be really historical and make most of your income off of tariffs, be my guest, be protectionist, put a tariff on everything and see if that balances your budget. It probably won't. I know that's the way it was historically, but the trade in this game is not running as it did historically, so you're welcome. Anyway, I've got now a new building here called Tax Department. Now, Central Bank and River Development, those go with the PEC mod and industry realism. That's separate stuff there. Tax Department belongs to the Great Revision. Now, if I click on the dude here, I see I've got 3 different methods, and these go with how my bureaucratic policy is. This will automatically shift depending on which bureaucratic policy I have. Appointed bureaucrats, elected bureaucrats, or hereditary bureaucrats. I have appointed, so that's what I have there. It's just a thing. Now, I can set taxes on my, I believe this is the the property tax rates here. This is my per capita tax rate here. Just how much each person pays. Proportional. This is a little more progressive. Now I've got access to some, but not all methods, and I have access to 0 methods of taxing dividends. Yeah, they all thought they were safe in 1.7. You can't tax my dividends. Ha ha. Yeah, you can. Ha ha. We can totally do it, but you have to pass the right law. You need to get whatever, I think socialism, whatever it is, the one that lets you pass that. You got to discover that technology, then you can do there. But for right now, in 1836, I can see this, and although the projected weekly balances give me numbers, they're not accurate right now. And I have to say that this mod is still in progress. The mechanics are there. And the numbers can get tuned. Again, if you want to, like I was saying, if you want to talk with the modder, you say, hey, I think this number would be better, this number would be better. My Discord is your Discord. Well, no, actually it's not. It's still mine, but you're welcome to show up and behave. But yes, you're welcome to. But so you don't get the information by hovering over, and that's the limitation in the game. But what you do get to do is you see, all right, I'm at minus 146 right now. If I want to make more money, I need to raise some more taxes. So what if I go maximum? Medium tax there, max high tax level there, and I can do high tax here. Whoa, that's 374K. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Better than tobacco. But yeah, oh wow, that's a wow. Oh whoa, there goes my GDP too. That's a lot of money. I don't know if I need that much. Also because when I look at this, it does impact my legitimacy. And you're going, wait a minute, why is it only -2? Come back up. No hit on legitimacy. I mean, I can go all the way to medium high tax and not have an impact on legitimacy? That's right. It will affect standard of living and interest group attraction. This is just standard of living. no impact on standard of living, and now we increase legitimacy and increase standard of living for the lower strata. If I say, hey, you know what? What if I go here with just low? I go from 374 to 243. Okay. What about over here? The same calculation here. Yeah, no red. Just go to the low. And this has to be, well, this one here is either very low at +2 legitimacy or regular low and minus 0.2 standard of living. And okay, I'm at 28K in the positive. I've got room to change here. If I think that's too much, I can always knock these rates down and get up a little more legitimacy. So instead of moving everything in increments of 5, we can go a little more fine-tune on that. I really like that part because now I can get just enough tax. I don't have to wait until I'm like, well, I'm going to wait till I'm a little more in the red before I raise taxes because I don't want to be too far in the green. Or I'm about to cut taxes, but I don't want to cut them so I'm in the red. I always want to cut them from one high level of green to one low level of green. This gives much more granular control. Now, it's only for you, the player. The PC, this is too much for them. We're not writing any scripts for them. No. This is for you, good player. This is for you. And you must enjoy it with passion. Yeah, passion. Yeah. Somehow using this pipe is making me more posh. Oh, no. If I keep using this, will I just become entirely, posh Englishman? Yes, of course it will. You will use this taxes wisely, man, wisely. I shall see you thrashed in the square. I'm becoming a landowner now. Oh, hey, that's good. I'll make more money, won't I? Ha ha. Oh, boy. Pardon me while I change my interest group here. Yeah. Already I can feel my bank account growing just by doing. Anyway, I digress. You can now. You're going to have to look at these and just set them by eye. Look at that number. Look at this number, and that's what you're going to have. But now, if I unpause, there we go. The number's staying pretty constant there. It's nice. It went up to 56. Went up to 65. Is that too much? Hit pause. Just adjust it. And you'll be fine. So let's do just that there. Oops, that's the wrong one. This is the one that had -2 standard of living. Let's go down to just add 2 more legitimacy. I'm at 94 and 40.5. That's good. Maybe we go to those consumption taxes, and we can actually here drop them all the way down and get a +10 legitimacy. And we're at 17.4. Or we leave them in the middle here and then maybe drop some of these and we have more political capital for decrees if that's what we want to be passing. So often I would be in a situation where I'm thinking I've got to have these consumption taxes if I'm going to balance the books in my country. I can't. And so this gives me the ability to decide maybe I'm going to put in some more decrees. Or you see where my construction is, it's only at 45. What if, hear me out here, what if we went back to that, put in that low tax, and left the things where they are? Now I can have way more construction potentially. And if I overbuild on construction, maybe we just take a small hit on standard of living for the lower strata or the middle, whichever strata, there's a small hit. And in exchange, we get loads more cash to help pay for the construction. This actually mirrors well with what we had in Victoria too, where you had to have a very high tax rate on the lower strata of population because you had so much of it and not enough of the other ones to make taxing them worth anything. I would always have the line like, the poor people don't like paying the taxes. Well, they shouldn't be poor. If they worked harder, they wouldn't be poor, that's for sure. Yes, diligence and hard work, those were the watchwords of the servants in my youth. That's what I taught them. And look how far I've come. I wouldn't be where I am today without that. No. So, use use your tax policies. You have much more flexibility now, much more flexibility, and you have more capability to get yourself into trouble too. Now, some of the things we were talking about were also possibility of making a mod that would allow you to lend money to another country as a diplomatic action, not a bankroll action, but an actual advance them a lump sum of money. Then they get a situation where they pay you back every week a certain amount. So when they're done paying you back, they've paid you back with interest, haha, but should they go into bankruptcy and they can't pay you, then it kicks off a chain of events that allows you to crash, or take over their tax collection basically you take over their customs collection, and that allows you to insert your own people into their government and, well, yes, protectorating them. Yeah. Or a customs union at the very least. A bit of infamy, but it would be at a discount because you paid for that infamy. You say, I have all this money, here, take it. We know you're going to default, and when you do, that's when we come in with justification. A standard tactic all through this period. We would like to see that mod get made. It may be part of this one, it may not be part of it, but it will be something that we'd like to do, and we're discussing it on the server. So, please, give the Great Rework a try. It's one of the top mods in the modding community. If you go to sort by most popular on the Steam Workshop, you will see the Great Rework in I think the number 16, or as of this writing here. It's a fantastic mod. I highly recommend it there. Lots of work has been done with it, and more is being done. And it gives you the ability to completely change your tax game. Well, I hope you're ready to collect taxes. Until next time, I hope every diplomatic play you make comes out the way you want, and you find the right fake pipe to chew on while you play Victoria 3. Cheers.